guys, welcome back to Chat 49, and today I'm going to be talking about the 49ers head coach situation. So as you may already be aware, the 49ers did release Jim Tomsula earlier this week. I have multiple feelings for this move, but let me start it off by saying that this was a move that had to be made, and I think this was a decision that was the best for the organization. Jim Tomsula is a very phenomenal and exciting person. He's very energetic, he's very passionate, he's motivated. But with that being said, he just doesn't have the experience as a head coach. Not enough football IQ, not enough vision. And if you're applying to be a head coach, in the NFL, you either have to be a former head coach or a coordinator, or that's how it's usually done. You don't go from a D-line coach straight to a head coach. That's just too big of a transition, and that's exactly what happened with Jim Tomsula and the 49ers. The 49ers signed Jim Tomsula, as a head coach because he was a yes man. He said yes to everything Jed York and Trent Baalke said, and ultimately that didn't work. You can't just be a nice person and be a successful head coach. It's just not like that, and at some point it had to end, and I think this was the right move that had to be made. Like I said, Jim Tomsula is a very phenomenal person. He's so exciting. However, he just has to learn a lot more as a head coach. And right now the 49ers are in a situation where you need a veteran coach that's done it in the past, that knows how to rebuild the organization, knows how to use the talent in the right positions. So I think the 49ers really need to bring in a guy that knows what to do. Whether it's defensive minded or offensive minded. Offense wise, we were terrible. We ranked last, dead last, in terms of points per game. Defense wise, we were close to dead last. I mean, the way our secondaries were, the lack of sacks, I mean, it was pathetic overall, just as a team, as a franchise, as an organization. It's a mess. So I'm not really sure if any coach really wants to come here, but that leads me to the next point. Chip Kelly and Mike Shanahan already talked to the 49ers, not a formal meeting. However, they did show interest by contacting the 49ers earlier this week. Right off the bat, let me say that I think Chip Kelly would be a great fit for the 49ers. Earlier in the season, or during the season, I was saying if Colin Kaepernick is not staying with the 49ers, he should go to the Philadelphia Eagles, solely because Chip Kelly was there. Well, he got fired before Colin Kaepernick, so he's a guy that's moving around now, and I think Chip will be able to help Colin Kaepernick. He's a very unique quarterback with great assets, but he's not a typical drop back quarterback. He's not the Tom Brady in the world. He's not the Peyton Manning in the world. He's a guy that can make some of the best plays, that no one else can make. But at the same time, he can't make the plays that, most NFL quarterbacks can make. Whether it's going through the progression, looking at the receivers and getting him open rather than waiting for the receivers to get open. So these are some of the things that Kaepernick really needs to learn. But I think Chip Kelly would be able to make a game plan for the 49er offense where Colin Kaepernick can really strive and succeed. You saw what he was able to do in 2012 and 2013 when he had the right game plan. And after he signed that big contract, the 49ers wanted to, play it safe, make sure he doesn't get hurt. So now he's a quote-unquote pocket passer, which doesn't make sense at all because he's so much better outside the pocket. And I think Chip Kelly's a guy that can help him succeed at the NFL level. Right now, as I speak, he's taking a lot of heat from people in the Philadelphia area, for what he did or what he didn't do as a head coach there. But I think you still have to remember the fact that he is the same head coach that led the Eagles to two straight 10-win seasons. And that's something that you should be very proud of, especially at the NFL level. So he's certainly a guy with vision. He knows what he's doing, or at least he's supposed to. Obviously we saw what happened last season, but generally speaking, in terms of the decision making on the field, he knows what he's doing. He's very creative. His game plan is phenomenal. A few years ago, he was one of the he led one of the toughest offense to defend against. So he's very creative in terms of strategies. So he would be a guy that can come into the 49er organization and start from scratch and be able to, give the 49ers a good chance to contend again. Finally, to cap it off about Chip Kelly, there was a report today saying that Chip Kelly visited with Alabama coaching staff today. So there is a chance, when you're talking about Chip Kelly, that he might go back to college, even though it seems like he wants to stay in the NFL. Before I let you guys go, I want to go back to Jim Tomsula for a moment. I don't think he was given a fair opportunity in San Francisco as a head coach. Going into the season, 49ers lost a lot of key players, whether it's Frank Gore, Mike Iupati, Anthony Davis, Michael Crabtree, Chris Borland, Patrick Willis, secondaries, and I could just keep naming all these great players, all these starters that left the 49ers, and obviously Trent Baalke didn't replace any of them. And then you have to consider the fact that Carlos Hyde got hurt, and he was the main running back. Reggie Bush got hurt. There were times when Anquan Bolden was banged up. Colin Kaepernick was hurt, and he struggled a lot. And he had to work with Blaine Gabbert, a guy that hasn't started since 2012. So, when you consider all of that, that was a very tough situation he was in, especially when you consider the division winner have 13 wins. You have a team like the Arizona Cardinals at the top, and then you had the Seattle Seahawks. So it's a very tough division he was put into. Obviously he signed up for it, but that being said, a very tough scenario. We're not talking about the NFC East or the South or anywhere else where you get 8 wins and you make the playoffs. That's not the case here. You need 10, 11, 12, 13 games to, make the playoffs. So that's the reality in the NFC West. And when you consider all the problems that were surrounding Jim Tomsula, that was a very tough scenario. So I really hope he finds a job somewhere, and I'm really pulling for him. In conclusion, this is a very sad situation what's happening in San Francisco. This would have never been a topic of discussion if the 49ers had kept Jim Harbaugh. You see the success he's having in Michigan, no surprise there. He's one of the most elite head coaches at any level, whether it's the NFL, college, anywhere. So we should have kept Jim Harbaugh, but we didn't. We signed a guy with no experience as a head coach, and now he's gone. So 2 years in a row, we were looking for a head coach. It seems like no one wants to come here. It doesn't appeal me. If I'm a head coach that's available, this is not somewhere that I'm looking at. So very tragic situation what's happening. I think Jed York has to go. I mean, this guy's so pathetic. He's not a winner. He's a loser. He's not a leader. He's just so sad. I mean, just the other day during a press conference he had, a reporter asked him, "Is your family going to be selling this organization?" He goes, "Well, my family has been the owner ever since I was born, or even before I was born, and we will continue to be the owner even after I'm gone." Like, are you kidding me? Just sell the damn organization. It's so sad. I mean, what's happening? You hear the 49ers, such a prestigious organization, probably one of the best organization in the NFL when you look at the history, all the Super Bowl wins, the players that's played for the organization. And then now you got a guy like Jed York ruining everything. It's so sad. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's just a very sad situation. Not something that I'm really interested in because at this point I'm so done. I'm so done, and I just hope somebody comes in and cleans this mess up because it seems like the people in San Francisco right now can't do it. So with that being said, that will wrap it up for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.